let's get to the appropriations bills. Tori, you've been tracking those. Basically, can you give us sort of a status check on what's going on?
Sure. So the appropriations process is the process by which Congress funds the federal agencies, the federal government every year. There are normally 12 appropriations bills that have to be passed every year. And right now, none have passed either chamber. So the House hasn't passed any on the floor. The Senate hasn't passed any on the floor. Now, the House Appropriations Committee has passed 8 out of the 12. So they're working. Senate Appropriations has passed 5 of the 12. They need to work a little harder. But I think the key thing is time is running out. There are 2 more weeks in the current congressional session in Washington, D.C. in July, followed by an August recess. And the new fiscal year begins on September 30th. But September itself is the work weeks in Washington are broken up because we've got several Jewish high holidays. So there isn't a lot of time to get appropriations bills done.
So is it your thought that they'll probably won't get all enacted?
I think that's a safe bet. Not a chance that those will get passed in time. So, they'll have to pass a temporary measure called a continuing resolution.
Continuing resolution, when everybody hears about the CR. Now, when you described that, I was thinking not too long ago when they finished the debt ceiling deal, one of the things that was supposed to come out of that is that they were going to try to avoid this shutdown. They thought they had incorporated some provisions in the debt limit deal that would incentivize them to get their work done on time. What's gone wrong there? Or, is it still possible that those incentives will kick in?
So one of the key features of the debt limit deal was also not only an agreement on what to do about the debt limit, which they suspended until January of 2025, but there was also an agreement on top level discretionary appropriations for defense and non-defense categories, and there was the thought that the House and Senate Appropriations Committees could then, just move forward, start marking up the appropriations bill and chug away. The problem is that in the House, conservative Republicans in the House Freedom Caucus threw a tantrum over those levels. They wanted to cut spending back to fiscal year 2022. And then on the Senate side, if you recall, the Senate wasn't even involved in the debt limit negotiations at all. And when they saw the spending levels coming out, they thought, oh, there's a lot more that we want to spend, especially on defense and a couple of other areas. So they started plotting to use the emergency designation to spend more than what the agreement allowed for. So now you've got both chambers that are marking up to completely different levels of appropriations for fiscal year 2024. As a matter of fact, the House and Senate, just on the top line regular base appropriations, they're $119 billion apart from each other, which is about an 8% gap. That's big. So that alone is going to be a challenge. That was something that we thought the debt limit agreement would have taken care of, but it hasn't.